So today we're going to be talking about PaymoneyWubby and his commentary to the cunt video. What are white people superior at? A very controversial video apparently. It has like 80k dislikes to like 2k likes. So something that has triggered a lot of people. Primarily PaymoneyWubby and his fans have come to the video obviously and kind of trashed it. All I'm gonna say is it's a very feels over reels kind of take from PaymoneyWubby, and let me tell you, that isn't, you know, a difference from what he's done before. I believe Vosh covered a video of his not so long ago, probably 6 months, a year ago. So this isn't anything new, where obviously PaymoneyWubby likes takes. Just to save time, I'm just gonna call him Wubby. So here's the video. Let's get rolling.
Boys, the mic is just getting dirtier by the day, and I'm sorry about that. So what exactly are white people superior at? I know, boys, 2 weeks of Pokemon and then to this. But before we get into that, boys, let me get the cans on.
How to deal.
Videos like this typically. All right, let's start the video. We asked 100 black folks. I will fall on the ignorant sword right now, but when did we start spelling folks? F-O-L-X. Am I out of the loop? Folks. Folks is an alternative spelling to the familiar word folks. The spelling has been adopted by some communities. What? They use folks because folks isn't gender neutral? Who the fuck has ever been like, well, how's it going tonight, folks? Just the men, not the women. Some articles suggest that folks is more inclusive because it's gender neutral. I'm just gonna say it. Bad start to the video. Also, we're getting into this.
This is kind of in a similar vein to Latinx. Generally, the Latinos that I'm around have told me to just use Latino, Latina, not Latina, Latinx. Pretty much just respect what people want to be called. If people want to be called, you know, folks with an X, let them have that. You just want to be respectful. Do that. There's no issue here. Who really cares? If you want to be called a Latino, go right ahead. There's no issue with that. If you want to be called a Latinx, no problem. Go ahead. I will go with whatever you want. So, who gives a shit?
A little too deeply, but I do want to point out the beautiful like to dislike ratio. I am proud to say this video has not been received well. So good job, guys.
What are white people superior at?
Man.
Oh God.
What are white
Now, before we go too in-depth into this discussion, I do want to say that that PaymoneyWubby does bring up that the video is comedic, or trying to be comedic. Obviously, the music doesn't convey a comedic tone. I'd like to see what Cut did or asked these people to do. Primarily because the question is very, like, vague in what they want. It's open-ended. And looking at other videos of the same vein by Cut, at least in terms of like African Americans talking about, you know, if they'd vote for Donald Trump, why would they vote for Donald Trump, etc. Primarily just kind of doesn't give off this music. So I'm trying to figure out also why they decided to use this music when a lot of the answers aren't entirely comedic, or at least don't come off as comedic. So I think that's a valid criticism of the video, is that it's trying to be comedic, and then it brings in stuff that we'll get to shortly. A lot of these are just like, you know, white people use mayonnaise a lot, or tuna, etc. Jokes like that, and then it gets into the deeper stuff, and we'll see Wubby's take on that while we go into the video.
I'm sorry. I didn't. That was a lot. That was a lot at once. And listen. I'm gonna apologize for that. That was not okay of me.
They just keep talking, mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
White people do love their dogs.
I love my dog and my dogs. They're the best. I will die for my dogs.
So what kind? It's not. She's not wrong. They got us there. The best part of this video so far is the sound of her nails tapping.
Love they dogs.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking.
Yeah, I do have to disagree with, you know, letting your cat get on the counter is really weird. Why would you let your pet be on the countertop where you potentially put food or eat? It's okay for them to be on the chair because you're just sitting there. It's not meant for food. So people who let their animals on counters, yeah, what the hell is going on?
Yes.
So we're getting it, lighthearted stuff.
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's always tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
All right, they got us on that one. There's 8 more of these in my cabinet. So, you know what? Fair.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of...
Dude, I'm in this video and I don't like it. This video does start out lighthearted. It's people kind of remarking and making fun of some white stereotypes. And if I'm being honest, it's funny. Stay with me because the video is going to take a bit of a nosedive.
What exactly are white people superior?
A nosedive in the good direction, at least in terms of, like, giving a voice of, like, how African Americans feel or perceive white people while they've lived in America. He's obviously going to argue against the entire premise that they are talking about, and he's going to use feels over reals arguments. But hey, let's continue. Let's see what he has to say, because I'm pretty sure he's going to use feels versus reals. Because when I was going through the video, time skipping, there was some feels over reals.
Smelling funky. Santa Claus.
Okay, hold on. Let's bring that back. First off, that's a dope shirt. We have what appears to be a police officer wearing a Ku Klux Klan hood. We were all kind of having fun, and now she's just like, yeah, white people smell bad. Are you...
He brings up the Ku Klux Klan officer shirt. Just to be completely honest with history, police started out, at least in America, as slave catchers. Like, they developed from slave catchers, evolved. So, I mean, and a lot of police officers are a part of hate groups, so it's a valid and cool ass shirt. I wish I could have it. And guess what? To be honest, I don't really get the white people smell. Maybe it's because we drink dairy? Because I've noticed that when foreign exchange students from, like, China come over, they talk about how much Americans smell like dairy. And apparently it smells bad. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're talking about. They don't drink dairy or eat dairy products, and therefore we smell bad? I don't know. I wish they would go more in depth into that, but I'm questioning that as well. Like, why do we smell bad?
Starting to notice a bit of a shift because it's gonna get worse.
Smelling funky. Santa Claus.
That was a weird one. They slipped that one in there too. We're superior at Santa Claus.
I don't get
what?
Santa
what
Claus.
White people are
but...
great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are superior at having fun. You hear that? Black, Asian, Hispanic people, you just don't get to have fun like us whites. Sorry.
Okay, this is a feels over reals kind of argument here, or appealing to the audience here. So I think if that guy was given more chances to explain himself, I think he would talk about how basically white people have more inherited wealth. They usually have a lot more wealth than minority groups. Therefore, they're able to go, let's say, to go to Disneyland. Black people can't go to Disneyland as much as whites because they don't have the money. Like, generational wealth is not there for African Americans. It is a privilege of being white to usually have intergenerational wealth. Of course, some white people don't get to go to Disneyland because they can't afford it. That's not what they're saying. White people are superior at having fun because they have more modes about going with fun. Also, usually, when you go to Disneyland, you don't live there. You don't live in LA, you have to drive there, and usually black people get stopped by police at a higher rate or pulled over by police. And that's just, yeah, there's a lot of going to unpack within that simple, like, one sentence statement. If he was able to explain himself more, I believe that's where he would go with it. Yes, white people generally could have more fun than other people because of money, but I don't think he's saying black people can't have fun.
boys, but not only do we not tear it up on the dance floor, but we're having a better time doing it.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
Well, just to be clear, I recognize that, you know, but neither do I. I can't run around and do whatever the fuck I want in this world.
What exactly are
That's not what he's talking about. If you read his shirt, you would understand what he's talking about. He's talking about white privilege, the privilege to have no systematic issues go against you as a white person. As being white, you have more privilege to go through government, to go through school, to deal with police, to deal with getting a job than an African American person does. It's statistically proven through numerous studies that African Americans have less privilege than white people because of our race. So when he's saying that he can't do whatever the fuck we want, obviously you can't go in and gun people down as a white person. And, well, you could get away with it in terms of like Kyle Rittenhouse, you know? Sure, he got caught later, but the police let him through lines after people yelled, "Hey, he shot a bunch of people." That's an inherent privilege of being white, or that white people usually get less sentences, like less heftier sentences than African Americans. So let's be honest here. You have privilege to do a lot more than an African American person does in this country. And if you're gonna ignore the obvious issues like you've been ignoring in other countless videos about this entire white privilege subject, I'm sorry. You're doing a feels over reels and you're not actually using your brain. I love you, Wubby, but come on, man.
white people superior at?
Insecurity?
Pretending.
Fear. Being fearful of nothing.
Being ignorant.
Blame.
Letting their egos control their every move.
Privilege.
Feeling victimized.
Playing the victim.
Congratulating themselves over shit that they're incompetent at.
You can't just now sit here and keep the goofbally music going. Haha, we're laughing, we're having fun. When there is a very strong shift in what is being said. We went from whites enjoy mayonnaise, haha, to white people are insecure, white people are the most sensitive, white people are self-congratulatory. What? This went from fun, lighthearted stereotypes to just fuck white people.
Congratulating themselves over shit.
I don't think it's fuck white people. I think it's giving a voice to African Americans in the video to talk about their perceptions of how white people are, or at least that they view white people as. Now, you notice they put question marks during that entire period where they're talking about their most sensitive. I mean, let's be honest here. You're being extremely sensitive that these people are talking about their perceptions of white people and talking about how they perceive society treats white people over them. Why are white people superior in society? Because they have inherent privilege over as being white. So let's be honest here. You're just having a feels over reals argument. You're not actually bringing any criticisms other than, oh shit, they're making valid claims about how white people are perceived in society. Oh no.
That they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done.
They're superior at being dicks.
Hey, white people, you're just superior at being dicks. Haha, the crowd went mild. What's the joke there? I think I can gauge when you stopped trying to be funny, and I don't think in any way she was attempting to be funny there at all. I wouldn't call that edgy humor when it lacks humor. It's almost completely devolved into just, let's just shit on white people. I'm not offended if somebody in this video hates white people. What offends me is that I can't criticize this without being labeled as white supremacist, without being labeled as having white sensitivity. In this video, they literally say those words, white people are really good at being overly sensitive. So does that just make you and your content immune to criticism? So here's a reaction.
Okay, I'm just saying this right now. You're not being a white supremacist just because you disagree with the video. If you were being a white supremacist, you would go like, yeah, they deserve to be on the lower echelons of society. If you said that, then you're a white supremacist. But you're not a white supremacist just because you disagree with the video. You're being inherently ignorant to what these people are actually saying. So let me be completely, utterly honest here. You are being a little bit sensitive to what these people are saying. And I agree. They should not be using this tonal music because it makes it out to be a comedy, but it's not. And what I'm gonna do after the video is show you another video by Cut with the same people who are asked a different question, and the tonal music there shifts from, you know, less clowny Austin Powersy to just background music. So yes, they did a poor decision choosing this music. Let's be honest. Terrible idea to choose this music, because people are going to come in thinking, oh, it's just going to be a comedy where they're going to talk about mayonnaise and white people. They're not going to talk about anything else.
Action video from Hassan. He's a Twitch streamer, one of the largest Twitch streamers on the platform currently. And somebody in his chat mentions that there's an embarrassing video that exists. And here's Hassan's response.
I don't think you should be embarrassed by black people saying this about white people. Why the fuck do you care? Like, you didn't do any of that shit. As long as you're a good person who is open-minded.
I am so baffled by that response. You shouldn't be offended if you're not doing the things they're accusing people of. The implication that I'm understanding from his commentary here is that if you're not racist, if you're not a piece of shit, this shouldn't offend you. I mean, if I got on a video and...
Yeah, Hassan is incredibly right. As long as you aren't being that person that's going, oh my god, I am a racist or whatever, you shouldn't give a shit what these people are saying. And also Hassan said, be open-minded. You're missing that. You're not being open-minded. You're just looking at the video and going, oh my god, I'm having an emotional response to what they're saying. I'm not actually going to look into what they're actually saying. I'm just gonna feels. My feelsies are hurt. That's what's happening here. Hassan is 100% right. And you need to be open-minded to what these people are saying. And if you're open-minded to, hey, white privilege exists, then you're gonna understand why these people are saying some of the things they say. So let's be honest here. You're not a white supremacist, Wubby. You're just openly ignorant.
Criticized an entire race of people and then they got frustrated at it. Do I just get to say, hey, as long as you don't fall into the criticisms, don't be offended. It's not a big deal. It is embarrassing to me that videos like this get made. This is a large production, 10 million subscribers on this channel. That means there are probably writers who wrote the questions, researchers, teams of people working, editors, directors, people who are approving this. Why didn't anybody stop at one point and go, maybe we shouldn't post some garbage like this? I think I know why they didn't stop. Because we have people like this saying, oh, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be embarrassed unless you are these things. I am none of those things, and I am incredibly embarrassed that these videos get posted consistently.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression.
Gaslighting.
Lack of empathy.
Intellectualizing oppression.
Did I say oppression?
They are literally saying white people are superior at gaslighting. What?
Lack of empathy.
You're just...
Let's be honest here. When they also brought up oppression and gaslighting, yes, white people are really good at gaslighting and oppressing people. Think about Jim Crow. Think about now, where we have more African Americans in the prison system than ever before. 13th Amendment. Think about that. Slavery. White people are really good at oppressing other peoples. Let's be honest, history has proven this. Is it in our genes? Hell no. But guess what? When white people have been dealt a hand and they go like, yeah, we're gonna oppress these motherfuckers. They're going to oppress. Let's be honest, we can't change our history. We can't change what we're doing. Well, we can change what we're doing, but we can't change what we did. How about that? We can change what we're doing.
Saying white people aren't empathetic. What? How can these people say this with a straight face? And then how can people turn around and defend this by saying it's just comedy? I don't think
let's be honest here, Wubby, you're not being empathetic to the views of these people. How about you ask, why do they view white people this way? Why don't you ask that and research it instead of going over your emotional feelings getting hurt over the video? You're not being open-minded. You're being ignorant. And I'm sorry to, say that over and over again. But that's all I can respond with, is he's not being open-minded. He's just being ignorant.
Normal person could look at this video and say it's being presented as a comedy, especially the latter half of the video. I wouldn't consider myself some fucking moral authority or that I'm in any way a better person than these people. I am more in disbelief that the company Cut made this video, allowed this video to air, and then even more so shocked, people are defending this video.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Dude's hat weighs more than him. I'm sorry.
Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
Thinking that they are superior.
Self-delusion.
Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
Marketing of white superiority.
Dude, the comedy. It's coming out in droves, dude. I can't stop laughing.
Again, yeah, they shouldn't have used this tonal music. Anarchy and Freedom 420, thank you for following, by the way. But basically, they shouldn't have used the tonal music. Haha, let's go. He doesn't actually, you know, criticize anything these people are saying. They're saying 100,000, 10 billion% the truth. White people are really good at distorting narratives and feeling superior. Let's be honest here.
Question that I know a lot of people will ask themselves is, well, what if the roles were reversed? What if this was a video of 20 white people saying the same things about any other race? Well, obviously that video would get them in a lot of shit. Jobs would probably be on the line if white people did the same thing. I'm not gonna say I disagree with that, but I still think it's an irrelevant point. I don't care what would happen if a white person did this. I don't need to care, because regardless of if I'm personally offended by this video, I don't know how you can make the case that this doesn't divide people more.
Whether you are...
Let's be honest here, if a white person ended up making this video, yes, indeed, it would be racist. For one, let's be honest here. White people have controlled the political and systemic powers in this country ever since its inception. They've controlled political powers even before this was a nation. In the colonies, guess who was in control? White people. And guess what? They weren't fighting for the freedom of slaves in the Revolutionary War. They were fighting another monarchist system in Britain controlled by white people. So the thing is yes, it would be very racist if a white person came out and said, black people are superior at oppressing and distorting the narratives. Because usually when a white person says black people are good at distorting narratives, they're trying to come up and claim that the South had the right to secede, didn't actually have any problem, didn't actually secede from the Union because of slavery, but instead of states' rights. They also talk about how, oh, you know, the black 1350, they'll bring up 1350 too. So let's be honest here. The narratives are completely different if a white person would do this versus an African American, Latino, Asian person, because white people have systemic control of the entire political system. What don't you get, Wubby? I'm sorry. What do you not get?
Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're conservative, like, white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, you know, they are actually a whole separate race, when actually white DNA comes from the black female?
So what exactly are white people superior at?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Hey, white people, you just criminals.
Manipulation.
Withholding information.
Lying.
Telling lies. What kind of lies? The lies of history.
Exactly what white people are superior at?
They're real good at violence.
Violence. Genocide.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but I don't think violence is exclusively a white man's sport. I think
violence isn't a white man's sport. Obviously, everybody commits violence. Even animals commit violence. We're not perfect. The problem is white people have had the inherent technological advantage compared to other nations to be able to have strong powers of violence against other peoples. Guess what? It wasn't Africans or African Americans that went into the Congo and literally committed a genocide. It was white people. We didn't come to America and the natives were killing, like, all of themselves. It was white people that came here and pretty much systemically committed a genocide against Native Americans. Today, in the 1980s, we had people commit coups against Latin American countries that caused violence because white people were like, oh my god, socialism is bad. So let's be honest. Yes, violence isn't inherently a white person thing. But white people are really good at using it because we've had advantages compared to other peoples in order to use it. We also control the most powerful countries in the world. America is inherently controlled by white people. Let's be honest here.
That's a human game. So I'm just saying.
Taking what's not there.
Taking shit.
Taking our ideas.
Copycatting.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
Taking over other people's cultures.
What are white people good at? Stealing. They're good at taking shit.
White people are good at taking stuff from other cultures. Rock music, for example. Let's be honest here. White people, not to say white people don't have a culture. We do. It's just we're really good at adding other random shit that we take from other people and adding it to our own culture and calling it, oh, we created it.
We are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
If you're watching this video and you're young and impressionable, fuck, white people are awful. Oh my god. Y'all killing everybody. Again, going back to Hassan, someone in Hassan's chat while he was watching this video said, this video isn't helpful. And Hassan's reply was this.
I don't know if this is particularly helpful. It's not. It's the cut. It's supposed to be humorous, but of course, in a cut fashion, mayo, spicy, or police stuff is like funny. For me, what's more humorous about this entire process is how upset people get.
It's not trying.
What Hassan said, that's pretty much 1000% right. Hassan's 1000% right. I don't even need to say anything. He answered it perfectly.
To be helpful, which I agree. It's comedy. And he said, what's even funnier is how offended people get. It just seems like such a fake answer. So I'm going to give an actual answer. When I watched this video initially, I was in disbelief. I was in disbelief that a company this large felt comfortable posting something like this, intentionally trying to be helpful. You're right about that, Hassan. It's not trying to be helpful. I do think that this divides people more than it brings people together.
Is it supposed to be helpful, though? Is that the point of the video, or is it to provide perspectives of African Americans in America and their views? I don't see anywhere where cunt's going like, hey, this is supposed to be really helpful to everybody. Yeah, of course it's not going to be helpful, because white people go, oh my god, my feelsies are hurt. I'm going to look at this emotionally instead of actually being open-minded. Oh no.
And I don't think it divides people in a way that makes them think. I think certain black people would watch this and get very frustrated that this is how they're being represented in this video. And I think that white people would watch this and get even more frustrated that this is how they're being perceived. And again, I will say I'm all for pushing the envelope of comedy, but I really think this is a bit of a blunder in that department. I really do.
White people are not superior with anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Wow, we found something we fucking agree on. We're not superior.
White people aren't superior in anything in terms of, you know, totally not capitalizing on systemic control that they already have. But, you know, are we racially superior? White people are not racially superior to anybody. We're all the same. And if people come in this chat, if people come to the YouTube comments, or if people come up to you and say, hey, white people are superior to everybody else, actually, slap them in the face and tell them they're stupid and to go actually read a book. And not sit in their man cave and go, hey, let me watch this YouTube video about why race and IQ are actually very important to understanding why white people are very superior. Haha.
Superior in any way. People can grow, people can learn. I will value you based on your character today. It's as simple as that. Yeah, motherfucker, I like mayonnaise, okay? I'd stick my dick in mayonnaise if I could. I thought this was an ice cold take. I thought this was obvious. Apparently it's not. Apparently what I'm saying is a take that can get me in a lot of hot water, which it just blows my mind. When searching this video up, there were two major videos in response to it. One was Hassan, which we already addressed some of the things he said. And the second one was from a very small YouTuber by the name of Jalen Revis. I don't know. He's got 12K subs. Here's some of the things he had to say.
Holding information.
Lying, telling lies.
What are they talking about when they say some of these things? Some of these things seem oddly specific to like their life.
Violence, genocide.
It's like, okay, genocide, maybe. Violence, come on, guys. They're not that good at violence. I mean, once again, you've seen the crime rates. You know what we can do. You know how we are in them streets. You know how we moving out here.
He takes...
I get he's trying to be comedic, but white people are very good at violence. Let's be honest. If you completely ignore every single war and genocide that white people have committed, yeah, we look like angels. We look like angels. We look like pacifists. But no, white people are really good at violence. Don't ignore that shit.
Something so serious and weird and negative, he even addresses that it's like, these are kind of weird callouts. And then using his comedic style, he actually turns it into more of a joke. You may not find the joke funny, and that's totally okay. You can clearly see the difference between a comedically themed video and not. The people in this video, I have no problem with. Fuck Cut. Me and all my homies hate Cut. Cut, you can suck my dick. Don't hide behind this fake guise of comedy. You're not even trying to be funny in the second half of this video. Don't fucking bullshit me. If a joke doesn't land because it's offensive, that's different. These aren't jokes not landing. These are not jokes.
Again, I agree that they shouldn't have used the musical tones that they did to indicate that it was a comedic. But at the same time, we shouldn't just immediately go like, oh my god, my emotional feelings are hurt. Because these people said some truth bombs.
Jokes. On my channel, I talk about things that I want to talk about, and that's something I've always done. I will say if it offended you, hey, well, just don't let it apply to you. It shouldn't be offensive then, right? Bottom line, I hope I didn't offend anybody with this. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I don't think anybody that I reference in these videos is a bad person. I don't think anyone having an opinion on this makes them a bad person, even if they disagree with me. That's the beauty of being able to share your thoughts. Hey guys, if you haven't already...
Okay, so that's basically the end of the video. I agree with him in terms of, obviously the video's comedic tone is terrible. It shouldn't have been used, but most definitely, I agree that we can, you know, have different opinions about stuff, but when you're openly being extremely ignorant about systemic issues that these people are having, then you're just being extremely ignorant to the point. Also, you need to understand this. Why didn't you ask yourself why these people view white people this way? Like, come on, dude. There's a reason they do, and it's because society has treated them poorly because they're African American. And guess what? If they were white, I'm pretty sure they would have systemic privileges and not even say any of this shit. But guess what? Because they are African American, they have lived in this society where it has oppressed them heavily. I get you, dude. I like your content, but this is the one video, one of the videos actually, that I disagree with you fundamentally and literally on. Thank you. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, please. More likes guarantees that I get more people to watch these videos. That would help me immensely. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day.